your official incinerator. Welcome to Incense and Common Sense, the live streams we do here on the Alert Zone TV. Shout out to everybody because this is a worldwide movement. I would love for you guys and girls to become active citizens. Y'all already know how to do that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell with all so you can be notified when we drop fruitful and nutritious content. Make sure you give the video a like, share, all that other good stuff. So before we get started, I just want to say to everybody, for those of you who didn't see my community tab, last week I posted a picture on my community tab and YouTube immediately took it down and they gave me a strike because they said I was promoting violence because I posted a picture of my IWI Uzi. I don't know if that's what I got the strike for, or was it because, excuse me, of the subject matter, but they gave me a strike last week, and that's why you guys and girls haven't seen me post nothing for a week. And to be on the safe side, I didn't post nothing on my other channel until today. Make sure you tuned in to I Got My Foot in It. For those of you who don't know, that's the new channel we got here on the Alert Zone TV, all as part of the Alert Zone TV media group. I got my foot in it. I only got a couple videos on there. I don't think I'm going to post every day on that channel. I'll probably post twice a week, maybe 3 times sometime. Sometime I might just do like a Q&A session. We do a live or something like that, or maybe some people might ask for different things about it, cooking or what have you. Maybe I can give them some tips. So as the year goes by, also you'll see me doing hunting and fishing on that channel. And I'm working on this new technology. Y'all been hearing that for a while. So I can put it together where I can do a cook and clean. What's going on, man? I can't call it. And I can show you guys and girls how I kind of get down in the kitchen. Like I said, just bear with me with some of these cooking videos. I know y'all used to probably seeing it like more and up close. I'm still learning on how to work the angles of showing this stuff. So, but I narrate you through everything, so you still get to see what I'm doing. So I give everybody a couple minutes to get up in here, and we just. I named this gun talk, but I don't think we're gonna do gun talk. I think we might go a little bit. We're gonna go into some things. I just say it like that, because there's been a lot that has happened since the last live stream, and we definitely got to get to it. So make sure you hit the like button when you come in. Shout out to a regular gun guy. I was in his chat Friday night. I enjoyed that live, is all I'm going to say. Shout out to him. So I give everybody another minute to get up in here, and we'll start the meat and potatoes on the channel like we always do. And one more time before we get started. I got my foot in it. Make sure you sub. You know what? We can kind of even do an open floor. I'm even willing to do that. Let me give you my perspective on the C murder thing. I was told that he didn't do what he was convicted of. This happened in the next parish over, Jefferson Parish. If you go back in, I'm pretty sure you can go to maybe NOLA.com or something like that. Go and read past articles. It's my understanding, Harry Lee. You guys and girls don't know who Harry Lee is, I'll tell you, but it's my understanding that when this happened, Harry Lee found out that there was some rappers in the club and that C Murder was one of them. And when they showed up, he wanted C Murder to take this charge, take this fall. There's video footage of him saying his name is C Murder. I'm gonna show him. So let me go ahead on and just jump on this real quick about Orleans and Jefferson Parish. Hopefully this will answer your question. As far as I know, he didn't do that to that little boy. That little boy was 16 years old. He ain't had no business in there, number one, but nevertheless. This has been one of them shaky cases because there's quite a few people that testified against C Murder that recanted their story. And they recanted their story because, and there's official paperwork, documents about this. You're welcome to look it up. They were already facing charges in Jefferson Parish. And for those of you who don't know, Orleans and Jefferson Parish is next door. Orleans had a 50% conviction rate. When I was young, Jefferson Parish had a 99% conviction rate. So everybody already knew, if you get charged in Jefferson Parish, you getting convicted. So most people would take a deal. Now, he's exhausted all of his appeals. It was Harry Lee's dying wish that man never get out of jail, and he's never gonna get out. Like I said, as far as I know, the streets was always saying he wasn't guilty of that. I don't know. I wasn't there. I know what the circumstances is. The circumstances is that this little boy was 16 years old in the club, 2 o'clock in the morning, and something happened. Like I said, that happened in Jefferson Parish. So I don't know the full detail, you know. Personally, I think he got a bad deal because of who he is and where this happened at. Because there's nowhere in the state of Louisiana he was going to get a fair trial. Now, what his counsel should have did was try to get him moved to Orleans Parish. He would have had more of a chance of beating that charge in Orleans Parish with an Orleans Parish jury than he would have in Jefferson. I hope that answers your question. Far as I know, he's innocent of it. He's been convicted, so I can't say allegedly. I don't 100% know, so I don't want to give you a definite yes or a definite no, but I can tell you from what I've known about the case, C Murder didn't commit this crime. Don't quote me on that. That's just what I've heard about it, so, you know, who knows. But there's something I wanted to get into last week. I was going to do this live stream because I heard about this shooting at this hockey game in Rhode Island. Was it Pawtucket? When I heard where it was, I knew immediately who it was. When I got that strike last week, it was because I was going to do Midnight Madness about that particular subject. And YouTube gave me that strike. Make sure you hit the likes button as you're in here. So for those of you who don't know, there was a situation in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, last week, I believe, where a guy walked into a hockey rink, high school, and he stretched some people out. My understanding is it was his ex-wife, her new man, his former in-laws, and somebody else, and then he stretched himself out. This person was of the LGBT community, and let's be honest, I know what's going on, Mr. 57. I know in GunTube, well, I know in this world, in America, we're never allowed to criticize the LGBT community or the small hat community for anything wrong that they do. Get off the subject for just a second. Hunter's College. You just had a woman from the small hat community go on a rant about how almost subhuman black people She's from the small hat community, so we'll see what the ADL gonna do about that. But nevertheless, back to what I want to talk about. So this guy, now from the LGBT community, already had this quote unquote gender assignment surgery or whatever they call it, and decided to go into this particular rink or whatever and air the joint out and stretch some people out. And I found it interesting because as I started finding out the details, well, you know, Unc like to do his research, and this is why this ties into being legally armed. Because somebody might ask, what does this have to do with the Second Amendment? This is why you got to be legally armed, because ain't nowhere safe. A high school hockey game, well, Pookie and Ray Ray ain't there. So you don't got no excuse. I just got to call it like it is. Pookie and Ray Ray ain't there. Keisha, Tyrone, they don't go to them kind of events. So they ain't around, and this happened. Nevertheless, we got to have a talk about something. I asked a question. I've had people kind of confront me about it off camera, and I had to stand my ground, stay in my position. In the comment section before, I've had people say some things to me because I asked two simple questions about the Second Amendment. Why are you getting armed? Who are you getting armed for? That's two simple questions. It's all related to the Second Amendment, but it's controversial. Why? It makes you think about certain things you may have not thought about if you didn't go and get you firearm. Give you an example. Bryan Kohberger. That happened in Idaho. For those of you who don't know, Idaho is very gun friendly. But who are the people in Idaho getting armed for? Bryan Kohberger. We got to just go ahead and address the elephant in the room about this situation that happened in Pawtucket. What's going on, Killmonger? We appreciate you dropping through. White folk, let me be very direct. I'm not going to tap dance around the issue. I'm going to come straight up the middle. Y'all got to have a talk to y'all community. It's time for y'all to start having a little talk in y'all community. You should do it publicly, but if not, you need to do it behind closed doors, but you better start having a talk, and I'm going to tell you why. I did some research about this guy. He going to be a guy to me, I'm sorry. Out there in Rhode Island that pulled his little sneak attack at this hockey game. Do you know this dude has two lightning bolts tattooed on his arm that you can see? This dude is a full-fledged Nazi. And you already know who his most disdain was for. Because they went and got his social media. This dude was an anti-black bigot. And his hate cost some innocent people their life. White folk, I'm talking directly to y'all. Look, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it because you know what? Nobody sugarcoats it when they come to us. We always the first one. When this happens with us, we be out there marching, talking about stop the violence. We be on the news. The news always come and find us. We got to do better than this. This is getting out of hand. No. I hear you. No. You guys and girls got to have a talk. That little hate that y'all be taught, that y'all have, that y'all discuss amongst yourselves, it's costing y'all community lives. These school shooters, go back and look at their fan manifestos. I'm not making this up. All of their manifestos lead back to one particular group of people. How they can't stand black folk. How they have such a hatred for us. Yet they're going around killing innocent white folk. You guys and girls, them little nigga jokes y'all make behind closed doors. Y'all gotta sit down and talk to each other, man. Look, at the end of the day, what's going on, Destro? Appreciate that 100 too. Look, at the end of the day, I'm from New Orleans, a 80-something% black city. I live in Iowa, Marshalltown. This town I live in is 85% white. It's 0.6% black, which means on paper we don't even exist here. I've been living up here for 15, almost 16 years. I've seen things here that you guys and girls don't see on the news. All right, I appreciate you for checking in. We got Syria in the building. Appreciate that. This is a worldwide movement. And I'm having this discussion because I'm going to lead up to something else. Y'all just follow me. This is why I urge everybody that's able to be legally armed to get legally armed. And I always ask one specific other question. Who are you getting armed for? Because if you think you have to buy a firearm because some south side of Chicago gangbangers are going to come and take your life, you might wind up in a cemetery. I mean, I was just waiting because I didn't jump on it right away when this thing first happened in Rhode Island. And as I got banned, of course, more and more information started coming out. When they showed the picture of his tattoos and his SS's on his arm, and they started pulling his social media up, and it's filled with hate about how much he hate. But understand something. The guy that pulled this massacre off at this high school hockey game match, has a son that's in federal prison right now doing time for burning down a church because black folk went there. And the kid guy admitted that's why he burned that church, because too many black people go there. This fucking hate y'all got going on in y'all community, all this little stupid shit, all the Charlie Kirks and Tim Pools and all the rest of them, you guys and girls better sit down and have a talk with yourselves. These fucking school shootings, excuse my language, but don't excuse it. These fucking school shootings y'all keep having since Columbine, it keep being the same thing. We hate niggas. We want to kill a bunch of niggas. Let's go to school and kill a bunch of innocent white kids. It keeps being the same thing. It's not me making it up. This is why I asked the question. Who are you getting on for? People commit crimes in proximity. Now, I've also told you guys and girls something about murder in this country. Murder-suicide is the leading cause of death in America. And it's usually from domestic situations. Even though this happened in public, it was a domestic situation that led to this. For those of you who don't know, in Washington State today, 5 people taken off the planet. One had a restraining order against him and went to a house and just stretched a bunch of people out. In Washington State. When I tell you guys and girls to stay safe, stay armed, stay on high alert, that's what I mean. You can say what you want about my community. Goodness knows we have our issues and our flaws. Everybody is in agreement that we getting armed for our own people. Well, why don't you take your own damn advice? Just like you could jump your behind up on social media or on the news and talk about they killing each other and all this other garbage that y'all think about your community. Don't throw stones from a glass house. Tyrone Williams didn't shoot up Stone Douglas High School. Tyrone Williams didn't shoot up Columbine. Up there in Madison, Wisconsin last year, that wasn't Lakeisha Jenkins that shot that school up. I told you guys and girls, since I moved up here, I've had a chance to see how the rest of the country actually lives without me being around my own people. It's murders up here. It's rapes. It's everything else you can find anywhere else. Yeah, I have a Instagram. I'm still trying to figure out how to put this on Instagram in formats where people actually watch it, because a lot of people on Instagram got damn short attention spans. They want everything like this already in 2 seconds, but that's a good idea. I'm trying to work on this social media thing. I'm still learning. But I tell people, man, what's going on? Appreciate you for checking in. I tell people all the time, man, just because I've seen it. I've seen my people go at each other. But for the last 16 years, I've been seeing other people go at each other. Same thing. You come up here to the Midwest, yeah. You come to the Midwest, Iowa, Minnesota, the Dakotas, Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana, Northern Nevada, Idaho, Oregon, Washington State. Ain't a bunch of us there. And yet they got prisons all over these places. Why is that? Guys and girls got to have a talk. Your community. And I'm saying it because living here in Iowa, I'm in potential danger from being in the store, the movie theater or something, for somebody from your community with their hatred to just run up in there and just air the joint out. A lot of people up here in Iowa thought Iowa was untouchable until I think it's the year before last in Perry, Iowa, they had the school shooting. And he wasn't able to get as many as he wanted to. Down in Florida, they just arrested a damn 12-year-old, 13-year-old girl. Had a list, had a partner, was planning on going to shoot the school up. And somebody just dimed her out. And she made it clear she wanted 20 plus casualties. Because a teacher gave her a failing grade on a homework assignment or a test or something. You guys and girls, look. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you that I'm perfect. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that my community is perfect, but I'm gonna tell you this. In America, yeah, man, look it up 5'7". I'm not making it up. A damn 12, a middle schooler. That's a middle schooler. I mean, she talked about how much she worshipped Nicholas Cruz, the one who did Stoneman Douglas. How she just had this affinity from him. Yeah, man. So I'm having this discussion and I'm not sugarcoating it because you know what? In America, nobody has an issue jumping up on TV, on social media, talking about the exhaustion, the fatigue, the 13 percenters. Oh, you guys just do this to each other. You guys, you worried about us. Yeah, you worried about us. You don't live next door to us. You sitting up in Idaho talking about that preacher. Black folk can join his church if we drop black culture because we inherently Dude, you live in Idaho. You know damn well, besides Boise, ain't gonna be none of us up there. And the only ones up there in Boise is the ones going to that damn college up there. You worried about the wrong thing. Believe me, the dudes from the south side of Chicago, since y'all love talking about Chicago, the dudes from the south side of Chicago ain't gonna come all the way to fucking Idaho to shoot somebody. They're not gonna do it. So just knock it off. So I just thought I'd get that off my chest that, hey, to white folk, I'm being direct. Y'all better start having these conversations like y'all like to make y'all little nigga jokes and what was that down there in Florida? They were saying some people that they wanted this one councilman to resign because he said when he was 10 years old, that a 10-year-old kid of a sheriff taught him, you know how you wink your eye at a nigga? Like that. Basically saying pointing the gun with one eye closed so you can aim. That's how you wink at a black man. A 10-year-old kid taught him that. And this was a kid of a deputy down there in Florida. This little fucking hatred that y'all talk behind closed doors, since we love talking about reasons people commit crimes, this little hatred that y'all teach these children is funny and it's joking. You look, to make your little black jokes, that's fine. Every comedy has its place where everybody with each other. We make white jokes, we make Hispanic jokes. People can make black jokes. The problem is people like to make black jokes, but they like to go fucking overboard. Well, y'all making these blackface jokes and all that, it's funny. Until your next door neighbor kid goes to school and shoots your fucking kid that was fucking laughing with him the night before. Then it's not so funny. Oh, they thought it was funny at Stoneman Douglas. With Nicholas Cruz running around there with all his little nigga jokes and what have you, they thought it was funny. Until he showed up to school with that damn AR-15 and started letting them have it. Then it wasn't funny no more. It wasn't funny no more then. So I just thought that I'd bring that out there to y'all. Y'all better start having these talks amongst yourselves like y'all make, like up here in Iowa. Some of the people that I've met that's from here that told me some black jokes I had never heard of, and it was just honest with me about all these different nigga jokes that go. Look, die at your own risk. All I say is this. Leave us alone. If your hatred is for us, fine. You want to make your little nigga jokes, fine. Just tell your guys and girls when they go and air the joints out, just keep it like it's been. Don't come where we at. Now, let me switch the topic. Because I told you guys and girls I was going to keep my eye on Virginia. Virginia is like Illinois now. A lot of parts of the state of Virginia is in revolt about these upcoming assault weapon bans and all this that's coming. Because it's coming. Now they talking about, which I researched it, and I guess this was already on the books in certain counties, that they want to make certain counties in Virginia Second Amendment sanctuary cities. Strange, ain't it? It's strange that now some of the people who spoke against sanctuary cities is in favor of them because it's their issue. I'm going to say this about Virginia. You guys and girls, when this is all over with, don't have nobody but yourselves to blame. Let me tell you what I mean by that. For those of you who've never been to Virginia, Central and Western Virginia and Eastern Virginia is like night and damn day. That I-95 corridor on out, up from North Carolina to DC, out east, is totally different from the west of the state. That's why when Richard Spencer and the rest of them went to Virginia, they went to Charlottesville with their little riot, and they didn't go to Richmond. Cause I don't think that would have flew in Richmond, even though we know that was the capital of the Confederate. I don't think that would have flew out there. But Virginia, me being a trucker and getting a chance to see what I saw, a lot of this country is, you can say, a lot of this country, I'm not going to say all of it, a lot of this country, a lot of these states is like night and damn day. Yeah, out on the peninsula, out, like I said, from 95, was it Richmond? Up there to Alexandria and all that, on out east, is basically, that's the most populated parts of Virginia. As you start heading west, it start getting more mountainous and more rural, you know. You guys fell for the whole thing like Illinois. People in Illinois didn't stop when Chicago started getting them restrictions. When Cook County, they was okay with that because they didn't think it would ever spread. If you live in a state where you have pretty much unlimited Second Amendment rights, take my advice, listen to me really good. Learn the lessons of the state of Illinois. If you live in Texas, Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, got their issues. Those metroplexes. If you live out in Odessa, or you live out in West Texas, keep your fucking mouth shut about guns. Just keep your mouth shut. Don't you ever support them saying, we're going to go to Harris County and we're going to put a magazine limit and a firearm limit in Harris County. Because once they get you to go along with Harris County, it's only a matter of time before it spreads. Like I told you, we live in a red country with blue cities. There's a lot of people in Illinois right now that are still rolling over because some of these sheriffs say that they're not going to enforce these assault weapon bans and all this shit that they got in Illinois. But you never know. You never know who's going to stop you. You might not want to take a chance on coming out the house having a 20-round mag on you because you don't know when you're going to get stopped. And you don't know by who. Told you, everybody in law enforcement don't believe in the Second Amendment for law-abiding citizens. I'm putting the rest of the country on notice right now. If you guys and girls live in one of these places that there ain't no restrictions, The first time you hear about a restriction, it can be in the most troubled part of the state. You better step up and open your mouth, because they're going to start there. But it's not going to stop. California. Ronald Reagan. They was in support of closing open carry because the Panthers showed up. Now look at the state of California. People nowadays want to blame the Democrats. No, you can't blame the Democrats for what happened in California when it comes to the Second Amendment. You got to blame the damn the apostle himself, Ronald Reagan. They treat the guy like he walked on damn water over there in the GOP. He was the one who got it started. So you got to blame the GOP for that. It's a messed up situation what's going on in Virginia, but I want the rest of the country to let this be a teaching moment. If you'll listen to me with these and this, instead of this right here, everything I tell you on this channel gonna make sense to you. You might not like it, but it's gonna make sense to you. I believe in the Second Amendment. Period, point blank. I don't even think there should be a ban on automatic weapons. Nevertheless, I believe in the Second Amendment wholehearted. I don't care that somebody doesn't politically, racially, financially, or sexually agree with me or not. If they are able to pass a background check and go through the necessary steps to get legally armed, who am I to say, because I don't agree with the guy or girl, they shouldn't be armed? No, go ahead and get your damn gun or guns. You can call me whatever you want. You run up on me, I got what I got, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But I would never say because I don't agree with you or because you have a skin color I don't like, well, you shouldn't have the right to bear arms. I wouldn't ever do that. Because if I let them do it to you, it's only a matter of time before they turn around and do it to me. You know what they're going to tell me? You didn't say that when we was doing that to that guy over there because you didn't like him. You didn't tell me to stop when I was doing it to those people over there because you don't like them. So what made you think I was going to stop with them? I wanted to start with them. Let us set a precedent for me. That way I can keep going. And now we have the end results. All across the damn country, we got people going after the Second Amendment. But why? This country, for all the history of this country, this has never been a united country, and it never will be a united country. And that's just what it is. You know why? America is not a homogenous society. America is a damn melting pot. America have a bunch of different people here from a bunch of different countries with a bunch of different differences and disdains for each other, and they don't mind publicly displaying that. Freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want about people here in America, and you ain't got to, for the most part, worry about losing your life. And because the states ain't united, this is the kind of stuff that happened. And you may not like what I'm going to say. I've said this on I don't know how many live streams or how many videos I've dropped, but I'll say it again. This country is divided. It's divided on the Second Amendment, and it's going to stay divided. Because it's not ever, and it never will be, a united city. And the politicians know that. All the politicians in America know that. This is how in the city of New Orleans you can have a Vietnamese woman become a city council and publicly say, right in front of everybody, black folk don't want the... I could believe that. Cynthia Wynn or Cindy Wynn, whatever her name was bold enough to get up there and say black folk in New Orleans didn't want businesses, they wanted greasy fried chicken joints. We all know what that was meant. because she had to get up there and give one of them fake apologies. For those of you who don't know, I'll tell you, because I've been chronicling stuff on my Instagram about New Orleans, called New Orleans Chronicles. I grew up segregated. For those of you who don't know, the majority of this country is segregated. When I grew up, I've never had a non-black friend until I became an adult. I've never lived around non-black people until I became an adult. I went to one school that was half black, half Vietnamese, and pretty much the whole school was segregated. We've already had this discussion on a couple live streams already about the places I've been in and segregation that I see. This fucking country is segregated. And the number one segregation is race, skin color. And then after that, it's ethnic, national/ethnic groups. So I've told you guys and girls, these politicians, and they all know it. They all know it. So when they get elected, what do they always do? If we want to get something strenuous through, we'll go after these guys first. Because everybody's on board with going after these guys. And once we finish with them and perfect it, then we're going to come and give it to everybody else. Like I said in Illinois, like I'm saying in Virginia about having sanctuary cities for the Second Amendment. The state of Virginia should have never had to have a sanctuary city. Because the very first time anybody talked about infringing on your Second Amendment, the whole state should have been up in arms. But that's just the thing. It wasn't. Because the original bills was done county by county. And yeah, okay, like, since it's always, what about Chicago? Cook County. We know what Cook County stands for, but Cook County. Yeah, go ahead. Infringe on their rights in Cook County, yeah, because they have to act in a fool anyway. That's why counties in Virginia had sanctuary status. They wasn't dying saying, hey, no, ain't no way. Forget a sanctuary status for our city. We need to have hands off. Oh, no. Yeah. It's Norfolk. Oh, Virginia Beach. Richmond. Oh, yeah, the Alexandria. Yeah. You can put all the restrictions over there you want. Let's go ahead on and make ourselves a sanctuary over here so we can't be bothered. But yeah, you can do it over there. And now look at it. The whole damn state. For those of you who never... Cook County stand for... Cook County? Oh, come on. I'll say it. Cook County means black. Chicago means black. Atlanta, black. New Orleans, black. All these urban cities, that's what the word urban means. Rural means white. That's American... That's American politics 101 right there. 101. When they say, let me tell you something. Lee Atwater. I know I'm about to go on. You in the South didn't know about Cook County? Okay. Cook County is in Chicago. Basically, it's the county that Chicago sit in. So, just in case so you'll know. So, I'm a native New Orleanian. But I'll give you guys and girls, since we having this discussion. I'm kind of going off on a little tangent, but follow me. Lee Atwater. Lee Atwater was one of the people in the GOP who said, we got to evolve. We can't outright say nigga because it'll cause an outrage. So we got to come up with these dog whistles. When Ronald Reagan said welfare queens means black females. However, white corporations in America, I live in Iowa right now, government subsidies, that's corporate welfare. You guys and girls don't know the trillions of dollars that this country give away to these big companies every year for corporate welfare. All them farmers up here in Iowa with them 6, 7, 800 acre farms that was screaming and hollering about the product not coming in and the prices dropping. All they do is whatever they lose, they go and apply for some of that corporate welfare money, because that's what it is. And the government bail them out every year. And they always reporting the loss. It don't matter. They always reporting the loss. I've been living up here long enough to pay attention to how these guys and girls, they give you that pull themselves up by the bootstrap shit. And then you sit down and you pay attention. They always screaming to the government about they need more money. But nevertheless, Lee Atwater came up with that. All right, appreciate you. I give you guys and girls this just little historical thing. So that's where these dog whistles came from. So that's when you stopped hearing them say nigger so much and they started saying urban and suburban. Urban and rural. Well, Los Angeles. Well, in Chicago. Well, Detroit. Well, in New York City. Yeah. When you go to these states and they point out these big cities, New Orleans. New Orleans mean black. It's been an 80-something% black city, although it's starting to change. But you guys and girls get my drift for those of you who don't know. Now they can't say Des Moines because there ain't enough of us here in Iowa. So you won't ever hear them say, yeah, Des Moines. Nah, that don't. In Idaho, all them places like that, Atlanta. The biggest black city in the country, Atlanta. Jackson, Mississippi. Memphis, Tennessee. Those are basically code words. And so if you get up there and you say, in Cook County, we're going to go get a couple of jackleg preachers and a couple of paid off damn stooge politicians to get out there and say, yeah, we got to stop the violence. Well, it's in Cook County. The rest of the state is in agreement with them. And that's what they do because they already know what the division is. Look, you guys and girls got to understand something when it comes to the Second Amendment. Why I've always told you since my last channel, and if you're new to this channel, we got over 1,000 videos. You guys and girls binge watch this channel and listen to what I say. I've told you guys and girls my personal experience couldn't be only me. I've had officers tell me to my face that they don't support the Second Amendment for nobody. I've had some tell me that if it was up to them, a black person would never have a gun. I also had them tell me that as long as it's legal, they don't care who have a gun. So I've had them type of interactions with law enforcement. I'm from New Orleans. For those of you who going through all the little things about ICE right now, this is just an inconvenience for y'all. You guys was quiet when it was us. When it's still quiet, but you guys was quiet when it was the jump out boys out there in New Orleans just yanking us up just because. But nevertheless, I've talked to officers who for and against the Second Amendment. Up there in Cook County right now, the city of Chicago is embroiled in a big old lawsuit behind black folk being legally armed, still going to jail for their damn pistols. You guys and girls can go look it up here on YouTube. I'm not making it up. There's a big old multi-million-dollar damn lawsuit going through the courts right now. And the bad thing is, they got the videos and everything to back it up. Unfortunately for them, the body cameras. To back up everything that these people have said. That's why I have these discussions with you guys and girls and tell you. I preach being legally armed and knowing your state laws. I preach getting your concealed carry permit because you never know what state you're going to travel to. It's good that we have these forearms because, like I said, I didn't know until Dr. T, shout out to Dr. T, told me that in New Jersey, hollow points was illegal. If she didn't tell me, I wouldn't have never knew that. It's just that. I seen another person post about Full Metal Jackets versus hollow points, and basically, at first she was berating people for carrying full metal jackets, and then she said, well, you got to know your state laws. Well, then don't berate nobody for carrying full metal jackets because all the state laws is different. I'm just glad that they damn legally armed. I don't give a damn if they got full metal jackets or if they got damn hollow points. Which is why I preach, carry something you can handle. For a long time, I carried a 380 and I still carry it. You guys and girls know I got the Springfield Echelon as my EDC because I'm very comfortable shooting it. And in a situation that I had to publicly defend myself, I'm confident in myself that I can put rounds where they need to go. That's why I always say carry something you're comfortable with and something you can handle. Because if you ever out in public and you have to defend yourself, you don't ever want to hit an innocent bystander. So if you can't handle a 44, why would you carry one? So you know what I'm saying? So it's good that we have these discussions in these forums so everybody can know the do's and the don'ts and we can share information. But like I said, I always say get your concealed carry permit because you don't know when you're going to go across state lines. And if you live in Louisiana, you're good in Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Texas, Tennessee, Arkansas. As you start coming up in the Midwest, a lot of that changed. Well, as you can see now, out in Virginia, and I'm hearing they're trying to fight to get something through in North Carolina, stuff is changing. Having a concealed carry permit, knowing your reciprocity, understanding that California is still one of the few states that's still fighting reciprocity. It's very, very hard to get an out-of-state permit for California. Dr. T said if you get Utah, New York will honor it. But you still have to understand what you can and can't carry over there. So it's one of them things, you know, you just got to take your time and know your laws and what have you. But that's why I had these discussions that I have with y'all. And I like to be very blunt with them. I'm not here to rage bait. I'm just giving information. Because I see it. I see how people get legally armed and then wind up in jail. Because they have something on them they ain't supposed to have on them. Or because they don't know the full law. So then all of a sudden you got an unauthorized carrying of a weapon. Next thing you know, you done lost your rights. So this is why you got to know stuff like this. But also, this is why you got to have these discussions. This is why you got to pay attention when I talk. I only do this to try and get people to be safe out there. That's why I have these discussions. I want everybody to be safe. But you can't be safe if you don't know what the problem is. You'll never be safe if you live somewhere where you expecting one group of people or one person to show up and somebody else totally different comes. And you oblivious to that. You'll never be safe. Never. You'll never be safe. That's just what it is to it. That's why I have these discussions. If you live in the hood, you know Brian Kohlberger ain't coming through there. You ain't getting armed for him. That's the one thing about us. We know who we getting armed for. Everybody gets together to point that out. But what about them Italians? Y'all never talk about them. Them guys been since the damn 20s having public fucking executions of each other. And it still goes on to this day. They shoot each other. See, but we sanction that. We sanction that. It's okay because it's them. They shooting each other. They killing each other. I'll say this. again, because I can't preach this enough. White folk, you guys and you girls better sit down and start having discussions with each other. Another school shooting got foiled. Them little nigga jokes y'all make, that little stay away from them gangbangers and all, you better be careful who you make these jokes in front of. Because it's funny until somebody runs up in your church. I mean, I saw a video, now they got people in churches doing shooter drills. And it wasn't AI, because I went and researched it. Them nigga jokes is funny until your son or your daughter or your grandson or your nephew or your neighbor's kid who you watched grow up for the last 15 years goes to y'all damn school and opens the fire and takes your kid from you. Then it ain't funny no more. You know, we live in a society where you can't hardly say this and that to these children without angering them and they wanting the air to join out. And to be honest, I blame y'all for it. Because it was y'all who pushed for these laws to say that if you hit a kid with a belt, they go to fucking jail. I can tell you what, even in your community, back when the parents was allowed to kick them children's ass, they wasn't running up in schools airing a joint out. You guys decided that y'all was going to, because you're so fucking greedy for a goddamn dollar, y'all guys decided that you was going to make giving somebody an ass whooping with a belt a fucking felony. And lo and behold, look what happened. The parents started going to jail for hitting the children. So since the children ain't never got hit, they got soft. The children started threatening the parents with 911, and now they airing the fucking schools out. A damn middle school kid, girl, wanted to go to school and shoot her teacher. And 20 or 30 other people, according to her manifesto, because she got a failing grade on a damn test or homework assignment or something like that. That is ridiculous. But that's the world we live in now. I did a video on this channel where I was very specific for white folk about these little nigga jokes y'all like to make behind closed doors. About you better be careful who you say that in front of, because it might be a joke to you. It might be a joke to everybody standing in the group laughing. But that little kid who watches mainstream media all day long talk about how we such monsters, it's not going to be funny to him or her. And what's going to happen is they're going to go to school and air that damn joint out. And then you'll be saying, I don't know what could have happened to him or her. Fuck, we know what our problem is. We have public arguments every day in my community about what we doing right and wrong. And I go in the comment section and people from other groups don't have no problem putting their fucking 2 cents in. Meanwhile, you look at the havoc that's going on in their community and they ain't got nothing to say. As they say, clean your own house before you tell somebody else how dirty theirs is. Do we have our issues? Yeah, we do. For anybody, I don't care if you're white, black, I don't care if you're Muslim, Jewish, Episcopal, whatever else religion you want. Here in America, when you go to church, you better have that damn fire on you, man. I don't know why church people seem to not get this through their thick heads. You go into church so you can pray, ask the Lord for this, and that, and worship. You paying tithes. You doing everything but the right thing. You're holding on to that Bible. You're swinging. You're singing with the choir. You're amen and everything the fucking preacher got to say. Look in that book where it tells you to sell your cloak and buy you a sword. Ain't nobody telling you got to go out there and build a gun collection to protect yourself. Go and find you something. that you can legally, that you can afford, go and get yourself legally armed. This guy went to one of the whitest events in America, a fucking hockey place, a hockey game, high school hockey in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, one of the whitest places in the fucking country, and aired to join out. Yeah, we got mental health in this country, but when we gonna start talking about this culture of violence in America, across all communities, not just one, all communities, when we gonna have this discussion? Because the bodies keep stacking up. You saying it's a culture of violence when Pookie and Ray Ray goes and drives by a house and shoots through there and kills a little kid that's on the sofa sleeping, but you're not talking about the culture of violence when Connor and Becky goes to fucking school and airs the damn joint out. You ain't, all of a sudden ain't no culture of violence. All of a sudden, well, it's just mental. No, it's a culture of violence that we have in this country. And if we're going to talk about it, we're going to talk about it. If you can tell me about rap music, I can tell you about KDFDM. I can tell you about the narco corridos and every fucking thing else. If we're going to have this discussion, we're going to have this discussion. The problem with this country is we've had this one-sided discussion. Well, it hasn't been a discussion. It's been a fucking monologue. And the monologue is you guys are uncivilized. You guys can't get along with each other. You guys are inherently violent. Meanwhile, you can't go to a damn hockey game. You can't go to see Batman without somebody coming in there dressed like they fucking Bane or Thanos with all of the Infinity Stones and airing the joint out. Your kid can't be a kid because your kid has to worry about getting their fucking head blowed off every fucking day. And it's because people refuse to have honest discussions. We refuse to have honest discussions in this country. It's been a monologue for so long in this country. It's been a monologue for so long that now that black Americans are opening our mouth, it's a whole lot of falling out over all these platforms because everybody's so used to us being quiet and taking the fucking abuse. And excuse me for being profane, but damn it, I'm gonna be profane tonight. Do you know what it makes me feel like when I turn on the damn news or something comes across my feed that a bunch of kids in school got their fucking head blowed off? There's nothing funny about that. There's nothing cute. I don't think, oh, well, that's them, not me. Those are children. Those are children. I did a video that said church and schools are the new killing fields in America. And I stand by that. They're the killing fields. When you can't even go to worship your God because you have to be worried about somebody coming. The church doors when I was a kid was always open. Even though some of them deacons and some of them deaconesses and them ushers used to be in there with them little 38s in their damn pocketbooks and in their damn suit pocket, still, the church door is supposed to always be open. And it's a damn shame we gotta lock the church. The church gotta have security. Damn near dressed like Call of Duty warriors. Because you don't know when somebody's gonna come in there and want to shoot the place up. And it's because we refuse to have these discussions. Because we've been so used to a monologue in this country. If you outside of America, you need to hear this. Because you won't never see this on our mainstream TV. This country has been in a monologue for so long that it's uncomfortable for people to have an honest conversation. Publicly. It can't be done in the dark no more. Because this monologue wasn't done behind closed doors. It was done publicly. After Charlie Kirk happened, Steven Chowderhead, as I like to call him, Steven Crowder, I don't know if he paid these guys or what. He went to go to a barbershop, basically to wag his finger at a bunch of black men and tell them it was a monologue. He basically went down there to tell them that we violent and we basically subhuman. But he chose to go there by them. He's sitting in a barbershop full of black people. Charlie Kirk refused to have an honest conversation. And look who showed up and paid him a fucking visit. Until we have an honest conversation in this country, we're going to continue to have mass carnage. See, I don't live in a foreign country, so I know some things about foreign country, but I can't speak on what their problems are. I can speak on what goes on here in America. I can tell you everybody's been conditioned for so long that if you walk up to me right now and you kick me and you a non-black American, if I raise my hand back, we've got so conditioned in this country that everybody, we can be in a room full of 1,000 people and you can walk up to me and kick me in my head right now. Nobody will grab you. The minute I raise up from this chair and do like that, everybody in the room will jump on me and say, no, just let it go. Even though I'm the victim. We've been conditioned in this country, if we're going to have an honest discussion, damn it, let's have it. What's going on? 313, appreciate you. We've been conditioned in this country so much that it's costing innocent people their life. And because we as a country, and I just say we, because it's never been a monologue, it's never been a discussion, it's always been a fucking monologue. We refuse to have this discussion, an honest discussion. We keep having all this slaughter. We keep having all this slaughter. Yeah, man, I was suspended for a whole week, man. I was saying at the beginning of this live stream, I was gonna live stream last week when that little incident happened in Rhode Island, and I posted on my community tab my little 22, my Uzi, and of course it was the damn computer, man. Them YouTube computers gave me a strike right away. I appealed it, and right quick, I did deny my appeal. And it said I couldn't post and upload nothing for a whole week. I've posted that gun for how many years now? 3 years I didn't have this channel. And I used to post it on the other channel. And I got a strike for it. So I couldn't post nothing again until today. I was skeptical about posting on my other channel. That's why I didn't post nothing until this morning. So if you look at my video on I Got My Foot in It, you'll hear me say I'm recording this Thursday, but you might not see it until Tuesday. Just because I wasn't sure, they said that I couldn't post on none of my channels and it was going to get me from circumvention and what have you. So YouTube got the robots out doing all the algorithm and checking and all that right now. So can't get another strike for 90 days until after May. If I get 3 strikes between now and May, they're going to close the channel. So Nevertheless, like I was saying, we got to get legally armed out here, but we refuse to have an honest conversation in this country because it's always been a monologue. Thank goodness we have started taking over mainstream media. And just by people just listening to me, I've had non-black people come up to me in person and talk to me here on the comment section. I've even had a couple of them email me and thank me and tell me, man, I never would have thought about some of the things that I've heard on your channel if I didn't hear it from you. As I said, I don't do this to rage bait. I don't have some of these discussions because I'm trying to cause division. I'm trying to save people. But I'm telling you, you can't fix a problem that you refuse to acknowledge. Let me address something else. I got to tread this one very carefully, but damn it, I need to address it. Let the chips fall where they may. Everybody knows what's going on across the border right now in Mexico. You guys and girls have seen the footage. I ain't even got to talk about it. Here's the thing. Already in North Carolina, it has been confirmed that this was CJNG or whatever it is they've been spray painting. It's already starting to be spray painted here in America. Apparently, this guy has a foothold here. Let's get this straight. I'm not advocating for violence. I don't even think that these guys and girls will even come after us. But I want you guys and girls to understand something. We don't know what's going to happen. You got to be legally armed, man. And I'm saying that right now knowing that I could potentially make myself out of a target for these people. I ain't advocating no violence for them. All I'm saying is leave us alone because we ain't done nothing. Leave us alone. Law-abiding citizens, we minding our business. But at the end of the day, we have one privilege here in America the everyday citizen don't have over there. Our privilege is we can have firearms on us at all times. And as long as we follow the protocol, we don't have to worry about going to jail for the most part for them. I'm not telling you that I'm looking for a gunfight. But I'm telling you to be prepared because you don't know what's going to go down. You don't know what's going to happen. On top of everything else we already got going on in this country. All these psychos and shit we got running around. You guys and girls got to get legally armed out here, man. You just don't know. You don't want to take your safety for granted. You just don't. You don't. So, I missed, man, I got so much stuff that I got to get caught up on this channel. Yeah, man, I mean, it's rough right now. It's rough on everybody. I want everybody to be legally armed out there. I want you to protect yourself. As I always say on GunTube, nobody on GunTube tells nobody else to go get armed so they can go out and commit heinous crimes. That's not what we advocate. We just want you to protect yourself. But you got to know what you're protecting yourself from. You can't live up in the fucking mountains of West Virginia and be worried about a couple dudes from the south side of Chicago. And I said, since they love bringing up what about Chicago? You can't be worried about a couple dudes if you live up in the mountains in West Virginia. A couple dudes from the south side of Chicago ain't who you need to be worried about. If you getting armed for them, something is wrong with you. But also, I want everybody in this country to understand something. If you believe in the Second Amendment, you should not ever support any restrictions because you never know, it might turn around and bite you in the butt. Illinois should be a learning lesson for the rest of the country. Because I know Illinois, before they had this assault, quote unquote, assault weapons ban and this magazine thing and all that, I knew they had banned AR-15s, lasers, red and green lasers on your firearm in Cook County. And just the mere fact they was able to get that through didn't take long. Didn't take long. The rest of the state, when they got those bans through in Cook County, they didn't throw no fit. They didn't say, oh, we ain't letting that slide. Just like in California. California is a blood red state. It's blue in the Bay Area, it's blue in the LA area, and it's blue in the San Diego area. The rest of the damn state is blood red like this country. It's blood red country. Y'all seen the map from when Donald Trump won the damn election? That was America in a nutshell. It's a red country with blue cities. Although it was a red guy that started California. And other people from the red guy side of the fence didn't condemn him and stop that. They cheered for it. Well, it ain't so funny now, is it? It's like in Illinois, downstate, the rest of the state suffering because they sat by and let them target Cook County. Virginia. Oh man, I'm glad you was able to catch me too. Shit, I've been running my mouth for about an hour. But yeah, when it comes to, like I said, Virginia having sanctuary counties, should need a sanctuary county. The whole state should be free, but that's just it. Having a sanctuary county doesn't make you untouchable. Now, I know some of these sheriffs are saying they're not going to enforce this and they're not going to enforce that. Well, you try that at your own risk. People moved out of the state of Illinois because of the gun laws on top of everything else. And believe it or not, most people that left the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois didn't leave behind all this quote-unquote mass violence. Do you know anything that goes on in the metro area? Automatically on the news, they just jump up there and say Chicago because they know it's a trigger word. It's like saying New Orleans, but the crime was committed in Kenner. That ain't New Orleans. It's part of the metro area. That's a whole different parish. That's in Jefferson. That's not in Orleans. But if you jump up and say New Orleans, well, then everybody just outside of Louisiana will assume, oh, yeah, that's them over there. Them Negroes in New Orleans acting a fool again. No, that's Kenner. No, that's West Wego. So all these different little areas outside of the city limits, when shit happened there, they just jump up and say Chicago. Because they already know when you say Chicago, people across the country are for any kind of gun. You can say you don't think people in Cook County, well, they won't say Cook County. They'll say Chicago. You can get up there. I'm talking about people who claim to be hard, staunch Second Amendment supporters. You can tell them, we're going to pass a bill in Illinois where we're going to strip all the Second Amendment rights from people in Chicago, and they'll be hell. You can get a crowdfunding going. You can get a GoFundMe. And you'll have some of these people who claim to love the Second Amendment so much, they'll be all down for that. That's not right. You don't love the Second Amendment if you would do that. Because we all know it's the criminals committing crimes, not the law-abiding citizens. Rest his soul, that retired firefighter that went to get that popcorn. They wanted his Mopar, his SRT Jeep. And that older fella come out there, he peeped the play. He had his gun on him, but he was outgunned. He had 3 dudes coming at him. He went down shooting, but he was outgunned. So you guys and girls just got to remember that, man. When it comes down to it, the Second Amendment is the Second Amendment. Leave it alone. Also, I'll say this before I get off of here. I'll always want you to keep this in mind. Two things about the Second Amendment. Why are you getting armed? And who are you getting armed for? If you can answer those two questions honestly with yourself, you don't have to do that publicly. You can, because I asked that publicly. If you can answer those two questions for yourself and be honest with yourself, there's a possibility a lot of your thinking might change. Yeah, like the Second Amendment, I said the Second Amendment should be a litmus test. We got people fighting for abortion, reparations, infrastructure. We got people, whatever their issue is, they fight for that issue. With us, the Second Amendment got to be a litmus test. It got to be, if you say you want to restrict the kind of bullets that we have, you don't even get in office. Forget voting them out. Don't even let them get in office. Here's going to be the thing. As a Second Amendment community, we're going to have to start cultivating our own candidates. You can't ask the candidates that got picked for us to vote for, because people have already donated to them, so they're already indebted to somebody. It's got to be somebody that we pick that has never been a politician, that we as a community put money behind, and we tell them this is what the agenda. We don't ask them, we tell them this is what you're going to push, and then we get them in office. That's what all the big corporations do. They go up to people, they donate hundreds of thousands, some of them millions, and tell them, and in exchange, this is the policy you're going to push. They don't tell you or ask you what you think. They tell you, you're going to push this policy. You know what? Eventually, I don't know if I'm going to go back full time, but eventually, yeah. At least in the winter, once my daughter is done with high school, yeah, I done had enough of these winters, man. I done had enough of these. A couple days ago, Saturday and Sunday, it was fucking below zero up here. And then, I'll be honest, I've been up here 16 years. There ain't no black folk up here. It's some of the conversations I would love to have, I can't have. I can't really speak Louisiana English here. Well, New Orleans English, which is something totally different. The climate is just a lot of things that I'm just, I go back home, like I said, it'll be, I don't know if I want to do it permanent, but I do want to spend more time at home. That's definitely a thing. Like I said, I got a couple more years of my daughter being in high school, man. And as long as she stay on the right path, man, in about 3 years, she'll be done with high school. 2 more years, man. 2-3 years. The wintertime, I want to be south. I don't want to be up here. I don't want to come up here, check on my house, go on back down. So, definitely, man. Definitely. And for my other program, I'm going to have to import some of that food. But another reason I want to already start working on having something back home is fishing and hunting is a whole lot easier in Louisiana because it's water everywhere. The water doesn't freeze. The rivers and the lakes don't freeze like up here. And then the animals. Man, you can go in the woods, the swamp, any time of day or night and see hogs. There's parts of southeast Louisiana, you can just drive up the street, drive up the highway and pull on the side of the road and see whole sounders of hogs walking. So just things like that, the deer, the alligators. I ain't going to hunt no alligator because I got one good arm and I ain't going to take a chance on alligator breaking what I got left of my arm. So I definitely ain't going to hunt no alligator. But, for my other channel, when I want to do Louisiana cuisines, I don't want to do Louisiana cuisines without the authentic stuff from Louisiana. So on my second channel, I got my foot in it. That's the name of my other channel. Y'all make sure y'all sub to that channel. It's a new channel. I posted some stuff on there today. I got my foot in it. Um, you know what? Yeah, you in Michigan. That Upper Peninsula, like I was saying, I had this discussion. I guess I might as well just keep going shit. Um, Michigan is one of them places. Once you get off 94 in Michigan, yeah. Once you get off 94 and 96 and you start heading further north in Michigan, man, it's like being in a totally different place, man. Rural Michigan, I've been up there. It's a long ride up there to the top, too, boy. Michigan is like Wisconsin. Long ride to the top. Up to the top was a peninsula where they got that bridge. I think it's a bridge or a ferry that connects them both up north. Lake up there. But yeah, on my other channel, sometime I'm gonna do some fishing, sometime I'm gonna do some hunting. I'm gonna do a lot of cooking, and I want to have authentic ingredients from New Orleans. When I make my red beans and rice on my other channel, if it's not camellia beans and D&D smoked sausage, I ain't gonna make it. Patton's hot sausage, bunny bread, and some of the other stuff that I want to have. I want to have the authentic stuff. Some of that stuff I might get shipped up here. I might go get it myself. But some of that stuff, being able to cook it at home is just make it taste just that much better, So I definitely want to do that. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of things I'm working on. I just got so much going on behind the scenes, man. There's definitely a lot of things I want to keep on striving for, Here pretty soon, they say I qualify for this YouTube store. Although I don't think I'm going to do it through them. I am going to have some merch for the channel coming soon. I've got a logo that I've been sitting on for a couple years already. I'm going to put my logo out and put a couple products out. But not only do I want to sell merch to help the channel, I also want to start creating certain products that I can sell to y'all. So, like I said, I got some stuff in the works. You guys and girls would be surprised at some of the ideas I didn't brainstorm and that I'm currently working on. So, definitely, I gotta work on my StreamYard and what have you. Learning how to stream on multiple platforms at the same time, but also bringing it where you guys and girls can come up on the channel too, Excuse me. So, yeah, like I said, I just wanted to do some gun talk. And I was going to talk about, just guns in general, but shit, so much didn't happen in the last week that I couldn't post. And I didn't actually film like I was supposed to, because I just wanted to do a live stream first and get up and then start dropping everything this morning. But starting later today, yeah, I'm gonna do some more posting and stuff. We had some snow over the weekend. We got 6 inches snow on the ground. So no, that wasn't on the weekend. That was Thursday night. We got almost 7 inches of snow up here, and it's starting to warm up some and starting to melt. So maybe I'll go to the public hunt land tomorrow and knock some rounds off and do a couple things and what have you. And I'm supposed to be also testing a Taurus G3C. Here I haven't shot the G3. You guys and girls know I got the G2. Maybe I might do a comparison and see what's the difference, But like I said, I got some stuff to work on for here and the other channels. So make sure you sub to both channels. The Alert Zone TV, of course. And, I always say we give you fruitful and nutritious content here. Well, on the other channel, for the most part, I'm cooking nutritious food. Now, I'm not going to tell you that my other channel is going to be like, I'm going to be making these Whole Foods meals and all this stuff. Nah, it's a practical channel. I basically gonna make a lot of stuff that practically people make, and then I'll show you guys and girls some of the other recipes and some of the other stuff that I've made throughout the years that you may or may not have seen before. Different sauces and stuff like that, you know. Different recipes that you guys and girls can check out. Now, I will say this. I don't usually measure like how much salt I'm gonna put in there, or how much pepper. It's not gonna be one of them channels where I got a measuring spoon out. I need this much salt, this much pepper. Nah, I can eyeball it like everything. I can just eyeball it and say, okay, I'm gonna do this. So I always say you can add more seasoning, but taking it out is hard. So I rather you need a little bit of seasoning or a little bit more salt than to have too much, and it ruins the dish. So. You guys and girls will get to see a lot. Like I said, as all this snow and shit dry up, and once I can finally put the snowblower up for good, because I was going to do that the week before last, and then I said, no, I'll just wait. I got lazy. And then I turned out wind up having to damn need it. So I'd have to go dig it out the shed. So I'll give it another week or two. Maybe about the third week of March, I might put it up, because March is one of them iffy months up here. Maybe, maybe not. So, but I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. If you're catching us on the replay, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you sub to the channel. All that other good stuff. I appreciate you guys and girls stopping by. If you came in late, go and catch the program from the beginning. It's not meant to be offensive, but we got to have some truth here. We can't fix the problem until we acknowledge we got one. Make sure you're able to get legally armed. If you are able to be legally armed, make sure you practice your Second Amendments here in America. To people that immigrated here, if you're a permanent resident or you are a naturalized citizen, practice your Second Amendment rights. I don't care what you do in your country. You're here. Protect yourself. You have that right here. Please just take what I say. Take it as words of wisdom and take it as gold. Protect yourself. You never know what's going to happen. With that being said, everybody, hit me in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. Until next time, stay safe, stay armed, stay on high alert. We out.